was transformed, where all of the different people from all of the different lands who were Orisha practitioners with their own singular Orisha practice, when Shango's kingdom really took over, it was the priests from all of these different places that were coming to Oyo as well. Not just the priests, but obviously the people. It was the center of trade. And along with this trade also came people bringing their religious beliefs. And so they were different, the practices and how they initiated somebody to the cult. But it became through this where Oyo was Shango's town, that the deity Shango took over the practice of spiritual transformation. And so all of the other Orishas, essentially their initiation was syncretized into the way that the initiation for the priest of Shango were done. And so oftentimes when you see Orisha outside of Yoruba land, it is very what I would call Shango-centric. This is because Shango became the Orisha that was responsible for the ability to spiritually transform. It says that the throne is owned by Shango. The throne in Yoruba land is called the Odo. So I'm going to show you what an Odo looks like so that you can understand the presence of Shango. As you see, we're here today in my own shrine. So this is the Odo. And this is what you would call a mortar and a pestle. But when you flip it, it becomes the throne that Shango sits on. So the mortar and pestle is sacred to the children of Shango. This is the throne that Shango sits on, the Odo. And when a new priest is crowned and they receive their initiation, they sit on the Odo to receive their ashe. So it's Shango who has taken over the ability to spiritually transform one into the next level, into their spiritual evolution. And so he's become extraordinarily important in terms of how the practice has grown over the many years since it's been expanded. This puts Shango central in the place of the Orisha pantheon, and so he's known as the reigning king. So when they say Shango comes in the room and they say always people, what is this? What is this that they do? It says that they're raising up because nobody should be standing when the king walks into the room. Nobody should be sitting when the king walks into the room. And nobody should be sitting when the king walks into the room. So when they Shango's here, we must stand. This is to pay homage to the king. So when we refer to Shango, we refer to Shango as the conqueror. Shango is, as an Orisha that we go to when we have obstacles, problems, or enemies in our path. We go to Shango in order to bring divine justice when justice has eluded us. It says because Shango is the king, was the lawmaker. So from a practical aspect, when there's an enemy, whether that enemy is internal or external, meaning whether that enemy is somebody that you actually in competition with, it's Shango who you go to ask for his assistance in order to win the battle, in order to win the fight, regardless of how big the fight is. When you are battling with something internally, be it a bad habit, be something that you are struggling with personally, it's Shango who we go to assist us in winning that battle. That's why we say we go to Shango whether the enemy is great or small, whether it's internal or external. It's because Shango is the energy that allows you to tame your ego. This is the reason why he is the representative of spiritual transformation, because a lot of times the problems that we have are ones that we have created on our own. And so one of the main refrains for Shango is, the only one who could defeat Shango was himself. As a child of Shango, I've heard this many times from my iya. You know, son, the only one who could defeat Shango was himself. Shango is the Yoruba equivalent of David and Goliath. That regardless of how big the army that he was facing, that Shango could always win. Why could Shango always win? Why was Shango always able to overcome the obstacle? Is because Shango is known as being a master strategist. So he is often considered to be the god of war. He is the Orisha that we go to when we know that we are going to have a battle. And to have the ability to strategize and think through the war that's coming so that we can overcome the enemy regardless of how big the enemy is. Regardless of how big the obstacle is in your life, it's Shango who provides the divine enlightenment to allow you to figure out how to overcome that obstacle. So this is the reason why one of his signs is a lightning strike, because it represents that energy of Eureka. Like we see in the old comic books, when the idea pops and it'll be a light bulb over your head. Shango is the light. Shango is the innovation that allows you to see things from a new perspective. And so he's the representation of transformation, because oftentimes it's a transformation of perspective and the way that you're looking at things, that you can separate yourself from a situation and look at the whole situation in order to be able to strategize to overcome the obstacle. So in this aspect, he's very similar to the Orisha Obatala. Obatala is considered the eldest of Orisha, the first king. But it's Shango who is known to be the new king, the king that takes the throne after Obatala. So if you notice that Shango's colors, while we always associate Shango with the color red, Pupo, his alekis, the symbols of Shango, are always red and white. And it's this white, this coolness of mind that tempers the fire of Shango. So in my mind, oftentimes you look at Shango as being the young version of Obatala. It's who Obatala will evolve to with even greater wisdom. But we need the whiteness and the coolness of mind of Shango in order to temper that fire so that he can be effective in our lives, so that the energy of Shango doesn't burn everything down. So when talking about Shango, one of the most famous stories of Shango is the story of his two generals, Timmy and Bonka. It says that this was at a point where Shango had conquered many lands. The empire of Oyo was expanding. And in doing this, he had two best friends, and his two